Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Brittany and today I'm going to show you how I'm setting up my bullet journal for August of 2024. Only this time I'm going to do things a little different. So normally when I come on here for my plan with me videos, I flip through the previous month before I get started into the new month. However, July is a very sentimental and special month for myself and my husband. We celebrate our wedding anniversary. We celebrate both of our birthdays. And it's just a really special time. So I'm not going to be flipping July 2024. Instead, I'm just going to go right into August. And to be quick about this, because I didn't want to start doing August 2024 until August 1st because that's National Planner Day. I know I'm weird, guys. I like to time things for special stuff like that, but I went ahead and I did my opening spreads already, and then I'm going to talk you through the materials and the techniques that I used to create it, and then I have a really cool surprise for you guys at the end. So if you stick around, you'll get to, well, I'm not going to even say anything more because I don't want to spoil it. So let's get in here and I will show you what I have created so far. So this is going to be my opening spread for August of 2024. And originally I had just wanted to do a bamboo, but then because I've been taking a lot of Skillshare classes, I took a detail watercolor class that taught us how to create panda bears, and I can't say that I followed along with that instruction because I didn't use any of the templates. I freestyled this, and I didn't do any of the color combinations or shadowing that the instructor taught. I kind of came up with my own, so I wouldn't say that this is inspired by. I would just say that I liked the idea of combining a panda with bamboo, so I added one in. And then I also like that the symbolism behind a panda bear deals with prosperity and peace and tranquility, so I really like that for August. August for me is kind of like a wind down month from the summer and then like the beginning of fall. So I wanted this to be a peaceful and calm spread. So it's just going to have the green, the gray, the black, and the white. On the next spreads, I did, of course, my movies and my music list, because you know that is, if you've been watching for a while, that is a must in my bullet journal. I actually watched several movies in July. I didn't get all of them viewed that I wanted to, but I got to see a lot, guys. So I'm very happy with that. Music, of course, because you know that when I set up my bullet journal, I usually listen to the newest playlist of Alex Rainbird, which I haven't gotten to do too much of, so I don't have anything written yet. But then, please forgive my dog barking, by the way, if you can hear him. He's barking at a neighbor who just pulled out of their driveway. But then on the reverse, or opposite I should say, of my movies and music list, I have my mood log. And to create this, I just used a compass, and I found the center of my page with my little guide that I created, my spacing guide. So I just lined this up with the last bullet on either side, and then with the first and last bullet of the top and the bottom. And that's how I found the center of my circle. And then I just lined my compass up, found two different widths or diameters that I liked for this, and sketched that out. And then I lined it, of course. And then I started to set up my weeks. And this is how I'm going to do all of my weeks. So I'll have the 4 blocks per page, and then the remaining block that will be left open, I'm going to fill it with quotes like this. So because the first week of August starts on a Thursday, I only have 4 blocks for the first week. And so I decided to draw a little scenery and quote. And this is Big Panda and Tiny Dragon. I don't know the origins of these quotes or stories. I found this when I was browsing for scenery imagery, and I really like the quotes that accommodate Big Panda and Tiny Dragon. So I think I'm going to do all of my quotes from that, just because it seems really cute and playful, and that's how I'm going to do it. I don't have any more set up yet. I'm going to do that off camera, but I wanted you guys to see the basics of how it's going to be. So in addition to the rest of my weeks being set up like this, I'm also going to do my month in Polaroids at the end. And then I'm going to create a gratitude log. Otherwise, what you see here is what my August 2024 setup is going to be. Now I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how I created this. So from the start, to get this green, what I did was, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you might remember how recently a pen friend introduced me to samples of fountain pen ink. And since then, I have invested in this wonderful little collection of vials of fountain pen inks. And so to use them up, I have been trying out different ways to create art with the ink. So this green is a combination of the diamine Aboltini mixed with some water to dilute it, and a drop or two of this dual metallic brush ink. So if you notice, when I move my notebook, a lot of the colors sparkle, and that is because I am combining these brush pens with some water. It's not a watercolor palette. I'm using the ink from these pens with some water to create all of this. And so this green mixed with this green and some water is what gave me the greens I'm using for the bamboo. And as you can see, I just put it on my little mixing dish. And if you're interested in this dish, I actually got this from Hallmark Gold Crown store. It's part of like a dinner set. I think that you put like a slab of butter on this, but I liked it because this is textured, and I felt like that would be a good way to mix the colors and also to clean my brush. So if you've noticed, there's darker greens, there's lighter greens, and then there's actually some gray and blacks. That is how I did my color mixing. And then, as I said, with the panda, I freestyled this. I did not use a template. So I'm just going to move this aside for a second and kind of show you on this little backdrop how I did that. And so what I did was, I just very messily with a Pigma Micron 01 black pen did some squiggles for the head and for the ears, and then I did some more squiggles to build out the face of the panda. I did some rough circles for the mask of the panda, very messily. Excuse me. And then I did a very fat heart-shaped nose, and then I did like a little upside down umbrella type for the mouth, and then just from the neck I did a fat shoulder and swooped down to the bottom of the page, and then I messily did a little circle there. And that's basically how I started to get this design. Then what I did was, I took the black dual metallic brush and I just held the pen like this, and I went back and forth jaggedy, and that is how I got those jaggedy edges that look like fur. And then I colored in the eye masks. You can see how it's really coming together. And the reason too why I really enjoyed doing pandas is because they're so quick, because so much of it is white. They're really quick to sketch. And here I just did very messily back and forth to get that ruffled fur. I just did zigzags back and forth, and then I went back in and I did a wide brush stroke to fill that in. And then I got a little bit more creative and I used the gray dual metallic brush, And I did some shadowing, again doing that zigzag to kind of do a highlight, and then to trace the outline that we made with our pen so that it's not so noticeable. And then I took a Jelly Roll 8 Sakura gel ball pen, and I did like a boomerang shape with a dot inside the boomerang for the nose, or for the eyes I mean. For the nose, I just did some dots. Now something else I took a little bit of time with was I made some white marks inside the ear, and I just went from the center of the ear outward very quickly, lifting the pen as I went to give it like a jaggedy appearance. And then I just made some marks here and there on the body, and then I quickly, while it was wet, rubbed it in with my fingertip. And that's how I achieved the different colors of shadow and light in the fur. Okay, so that is how I did the panda. And then to get these bamboos, what I did was, after I mixed the diamine appletini with the green from the dual metallic brush pen, I just mixed some water with it, and again I held the pen or a brush pen like this in my hand, and then I just around the panda pressed, and then as I went upward I lifted. I left a little bit of space, and then I pressed and lifted it as I went up. This way you're getting not the fullness of the body of the bristles, but basically the tip. You're getting the fatness of the tip at the bottom, and then as you lift it up, the bamboo fades out. And then what I did was I went in with a darker green, and I just kind of tapped around the edges to provide a shadow. And then to do the leaves, I just did a little thin line, and then I laid the brush down full and then lifted. Laid down again and then lifted. So real thin line, lay the brush down and then lift. Thin line, lay it down and then lift. And then you can play around with these colors by adding more water or by adding more color to get different effects. But that's basically what I did. And then I just loaded the brush up with whatever color. Sometimes I mix it with a silver metallic, and then I just tapped it. Get some more water on there. And then I just tapped it for the splatter. Okay, so that's how I achieved all the things that I repeated throughout this, and that I'm going to continue with my weeks. And then this I just freestyled from an image that I got inspiration from, and these little panda stickers here are actually ones that I had left over from a Sticky Club order. So I'll do my best to write all of these supplies and where I got the notebook and the stickers in the description box of this video, so that you guys can look things up and see if you might like to use any of those materials in your journals. And then also for these little stamps here, those are my go-to stamps that I use for those lists. And one is a music note, and the other is a movie. I don't know what those are called. The little like break things that they close to start a scene. The other tools I used was a pencil, a water brush, that wide makeup brush that I used to wipe away my eraser endings, and then I have this fountain pen that is filled with Pilot, Iroshizuku, Sumi ink, and that is what I used also for some of the black. And then this is what I am writing the days of the week, the dates of the days, and my headings, with the exception of my mood log, and that's what I use to do that with. For paints, because I did use some paint, I used the Beam paints, primarily the Wintry Night. I also used Wet Grizzly. It's the brown that I used in the image, and then I used some of this, what's this one called? Can't see it. Glacial Rivers, and that is what I used for the water. And then for the other colors, so the red and the green, the silver and the brown. So the brown is the beam paint, the green is what I had left over from the bamboo, and then the blue is the glacial streams, and the red is Crayola washable super tips. I just took some of the water brush pen, and I rubbed it against the tip of the marker and created watercolor from it. So there you have it. And now I am going to go get the surprise that I have for you guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, are you guys ready? Did you stick around? Here is my surprise. I'm introducing you to the newest member of our family. This is little Jacques. We found him Friday night. My husband went outside with the dog in the evening before we were putting him to bed. Look how cute. And he heard a kitten cry, so we went to try to find him. We thought that maybe he was stuck under our outbuilding, but no. Then we thought maybe he was in our building. And about 3.5 hours later, we found this little guy in the undercarriage of my husband's truck. So we have decided to name him Jacques, or Jacques, because we found him of the night of the Paris Olympic opening. So he is our little kitty. It is a boy. And he is very loving. We currently are quarantining him because we have geriatric pets, and I can't get him into the vet until next week. So we're gonna quarantine until he gets all of his little shots and his checkups and gets tested. But yeah, this is the newest member of the family. I'm trying to get it so you can see his little face. Look how cute. Oh, he's adorable. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.